Today we're going to be tackling the subject of night shifts. Now, if you're like me and you're in a job that requires you to do the night shift, or you have a shift pattern for your work, sometimes you can find that night shifts can be really tough. I remember when I did my first night shift, it was horrendous. To be honest with you, I hadn't prepared properly. I didn't sleep the day before because basically I just couldn't get into it, and I was a little bit anxious as well, I suppose. So with that being said, let's get straight into how to handle your night shifts. So the first thing is, make sure that when you do finish your night shift that you sleep well. So I would say that if you've got the capacity or you have got some blackout curtains, then use them. But I find that even if I did have them, I always can see little bits of light, and that can already disturb my sleep. I did buy a eye mask from Amazon. I have to say, this eye mask was brilliant, and I can't really fault this at all. It's a 3D eye mask, and why do I like this the most? So let me just open this case and show you what's inside. So this is your mask here, and basically on the inside it has like a little indentation as to where your eyes go. So that means when you blink your eyes, etc., you're not going to have the feeling of your eyelashes touching this. I put this on, darkness, okay? Darkness enters the room, and with that I've found that I'm actually sleeping a lot better, and I'm not having to take any sleeping pills or anything that will be needed for me to get to sleep. So that allows me to stay away from pharmacological things, and I like the natural approach a lot more, and that is my mask. Another thing that I find quite helpful when I'm about to sleep is to have a fan. So this is the fan that I use. I try not to have it to go directly in my face. I put it slightly away, but sometimes it gives a nice little humming noise. So if you're somebody that kind of does well with white noise, this is a good idea. And so this has been very helpful for helping me sleep. When it's been the colder months, I obviously didn't really need it, and the cold in itself kind of gives me the feeling I just want to snuggle up and sleep. But when it gets warm, it's good to have a fan. Next tip is about eating. Now, everybody has a different way of managing their night shifts. I find personally I don't really like to eat too much on a night shift because it just disturbs my stomach. I get bloated and I start feeling uncomfortable. But if you are going to eat, make sure what you're eating is quite healthy. I find that if you eat a lot of junk food, you're going to start to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Your stomach starts growling, and then you're like, I'm a bit unsettled. So eat a good healthy meal, have lots of drinks and like water. You need to keep yourself really hydrated, and that's important. So that's another point. Get yourself a lot of water, or have a bottle that you can fill with water, and then just keep drinking water throughout that night. Yeah, but eat very well, and maybe eat a little bit just before you start the shift so you've got some energy. And if you do need to eat throughout the night, then just have like little bites here and there just to give yourself a little push or a little bit of energy. Next point, caffeine. Now, I'm personally somebody that finds coffee not that helpful. Yes, it might do the job, and maybe some people do well with having an energy drink, but I just find for myself it really doesn't work. Why? Because when I take a drink, I find that I will then crash maybe about 3 hours later, and this crash means that the rest of the night is really, really tough for me. I don't like that feeling, and I don't like the feeling of having to take more and more caffeine. One, because it also makes my stomach go weird, and then I've got stomach ache, and then the night again is ruined. So try and limit your caffeine intake if you can. As I said, everybody's a little bit different, and you might find that having an energy drink throughout the night might be good for you. But I think probably if you can, just stay away from them. As I said, stay hydrated, so that's another thing to add. And throughout the night, especially nights that are a little bit slower, find ways to stay busy. I find that sometimes I just put some music on. I've got my bleeps with me, but I will sometimes just put some music and go for a walk if it's getting a little bit more quiet. If you're in an area where there's a lot of people to talk to your colleagues. Keep yourself active, because if it starts to slow down quite a bit, you can start to feel the drain, and then when that happens, you really just want to start sleeping. So find ways to stay active through your night shift. And then if you do find that you have a moment, and this is the next point, is try and take a little nap. Now I would say short bursts, don't do a very long one, because the moment you open your eyes and it's a long rest, as much as you want to, you will start to feel really groggy. So like a very short burst of sleep or a short burst of rest, just to settle down, will be helpful. And then also I find if your feet are hurting in a night shift, you're gonna be feeling really uncomfortable. So make sure that you're warm if it's quite cold, so have a hoodie. Make sure that you've got leggings underneath those leggings underneath your scrubs if you feel that it's getting cold. Sometimes I have had to do that. When I start getting cold in the night, I start to get a bit achy, so have that with you. Have a comfortable shoes. So I've got these shoes that I got from I don't know what website it is, but these are basically clogs. I mean, in Obs and Gyno, which is the rotation I'm in right now, you do need to have them, but these are super comfortable. I like shoes with a little bit of like a fake sock, and these also have a very soft insole. So I put these on when I get to work. I keep them nice and clean so that they just work related shoes. But when I wear these, I feel really comfortable, and this also adds just to having a good night. When you have uncomfortable shoes and you've been on a rotation which requires you to walk up and down different walls, etc., when your feet start to hurt, you also start to hurt, and then the night also becomes ruined. So just try and incorporate some of these ideas to help you have a great night shift. I wish you all the best. Bye.